Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another in front of the camera video. Now, I got the idea for this video probably about 10 minutes ago, so it's probably going to be slightly unprofessional and slightly over the place. Probably, who knows. So, you've seen the title of the video. Today I am doing my very first tag. And I thought that, yes, what better day to do the gender tag than on the National Day of the Woman as a man. I'm joking, that's not the reason. The reason is that I actually just watched a video by a YouTuber that I followed for a year now, Elloise, and she just did this video because she was inspired by some certain people who were being rude about gender or whatever and wanted to clarify that. And then she decided that anyone who wanted to post the things in the comments and then give their answers, then she would like to get to know them. Well, I'm going one step further. I am actually making a full video on the matter, just like she did, with a lot worse camera. So yeah, if you want to actually watch a good quality video of this, then please go to Lauren Elloise's channel. She'll probably elaborate a lot better than I will. Anyway, let's get on with the questions, you know, the part that you actually came to watch. Question 1. How do you self-identify your gender, and what does that definition mean to you? If I'm looking over there, it's because I have the questions over there and I'm reading from them. So, I self-identify as male, and that definition means that, male? No. The definition to me means the same thing that it means to Lauren. She says that she's comfortable identifying as a young girl or young lady or whatever it is that she quite said about her age. Didn't say woman quite then because she didn't feel like she was old enough, which I can respect because I feel the same way because I only just turned 18, so because I would qualify more as a man than boy really, but I still think I'm just a boy to be honest. Given my mentality, I would definitely say yes, boy, but definitely male. Question 2. What the heck was that? Describe the style of clothing that you most often wear. Wait. Describe the style of clothing that you most often wear. So, this hat actually is I think the only properly recurring theme in my attire. I do have the same set of clothes, quite like I've got 3 of these, I believe, these cardigans and a few shirts. As for today, actually, because I've got to go to a drama club after I record this video, I'm actually wearing the shirt that corresponds to that. Sorry, you theatre, be a part of it. If you want to, call a number on my back, which I can't read. So yes, I will wear the usual same shirts because I haven't got that many, and also the same kind of trousers. I do not like wearing jeans because I tried them when I was 6, did not like them, decided that I was never going to try them again, and I didn't for 10 years. When I was 16, I had to try them for a performance, but that's it. So I usually wear these joggers, which I'm trying to demonstrate here as well as possible. Oh, and also this is my my sock. I'll get a lot of these for Christmas. Please stop buying me these, I've got enough already. Moving on. Oh yeah, also this hat I've had actually since I was 8 years old. It's aged more than I have in that time. There are pictures of me in some performances when I was, I believe, 11, and the hat looks brand new back then, because it kind of was. Yeah, that's how long I've had this. I wear this every Friday now to college, and in some performances I will wear it as well, and hopefully in the showcase of this club. This episode is sponsored by Sorry You Theatre. Question 3. Talk about your choices with body hair. How do you style your hair? Do you have facial hair? What do you choose to shave? Well, my choice with body hair is... I don't really get a choice, to be honest. It is there. How do you style your hair? I don't. But the only reason for that is because I can't really do much with it, to be honest. I mean, I could grow it out. I guess I could tie it back if it were grown out, but I like it short because it's easier to comb and it's just easier to deal with. So, I just like it that way. I just wear the normal natural look of myself. Do you have facial hair? You guys answer that question. What do you choose to shave? Nothing. And the reason for that is because once one starts shaving, one gets into this vicious cycle of everything appearing again, and sometimes in greater texture and intensity, and goes back faster, and then you have to do it all over again, and then it goes back the same way, and it just becomes a vicious cycle. So I personally choose not to really enter in that vicious cycle. If I were to have to do, for example, an actor's headshot or whatever, which I'll have to do eventually, I will probably shave my facial hair at that point, because that way I can show that I can play people of a younger age than myself, or expand my playing age. But that would probably be the only reason, really. I'm kind of comfortable with the way I am, and I think the moustache suits me very well. Question 4. Talk about cosmetics. Well, cosmetics are these things that you put on your face and body. Do you choose to wear makeup? No. Do you paint your nails? No. What type of soap/perfume do you use? Is anyone in here? Okay, so apparently the soap that I use is called Simple. It is kind to the skin and moisturising. It is also a hand wash. Sensitive skin experts, apparently. I guess I am kind of sensitive, but yeah, that's this. And we only recently just started buying this one. This is our first one of that sort. Back to our regular programming. How to sit a tripod. Jacob Butter tutorials. We're good? No. Question 5. Have you ever experienced being misgendered? Yes. One time. And there's a funny story to this. So obviously in my current state no one would confuse me for a female. But there was one time when I was maybe 10 years old, I think, and I was in the car. I was on the far side to I was on the far side to the right. You know where I stand politically. I'm joking. I don't know where I stand politically, to be honest. I haven't figured it out yet. But I always sit on the right side of the car, wherever I am. And this one guy. There's one guy who would actually beg and during the on the roads when the traffic light was red. This was in outskirts of Madrid, so there weren't that many cars, but they all would line up and stop, and then they'd all go eventually. And he kind of knew the sequence, so he knew what he was doing. He was a man with a plan. At least I assume he self-identified as a man. I never asked him that question, ironically. But what happened was, for some reason, he got along very well with my parents. I think it was because he was English speaking, and this was when I lived in Spain. So there weren't that many English speakers, and obviously my parents both are English speakers, and as am I and my brother. And I think my cousin was there as well, actually, so this was extra interesting. What happened was, he said to us, "Oh, how are you doing, boys?" And both Carl and Fraser answered, and they said, "Oh yes, we're doing fine," and whatever. And I just didn't notice. I had zoned out at this point. I do that a lot sometimes. I just was like this, with a very serious face. Serious for a 10-year-old, actually, must admit. Should have seen my passport photo. And then, for some reason, I don't know, because he said boys, he expected me to react as well, but then he asked me afterwards, he said, "Are you a boy or a girl?" And I just looked at him with the most strange look possible. I said, I'm a boy, and just like that. So I guess it doesn't count necessarily as being misgendered, but that's as close as it's come to. And it's a pretty funny story, so I wanted to tell it anyway. It's my video, I do what I want, who cares? Question 6. Do you experience dysphoria? How does that affect you? Oh, sorry. Question 6. Do you experience dysphoria? How does that affect you? I don't experience dysphoria, and it doesn't affect me. Question 7. Talk about children. Are you interested in having children? Yes. I don't know if they'll be biological or adopted, but I do eventually want to become a dad at some point. I think that's just one of the natural steps for me, because I feel like I'd be quite good at it. Just thinking, I don't necessarily mind if they're boy or a girl or biologically related to me or not. Although I do know that if I ever have a daughter, I am going to call her Alba, because I made that promise, again when I was 10 actually, to this other girl called Alba, who used to call me Dad. There's a backstory to that. I looked like this guy she used to call Dad beforehand. She was 7 and I was 10, so I was older than her, blah blah blah. And I just thought, you know what, as a good tribute to her, and then I will call my first daughter Alba. So I'll have a real daughter called Alba at some point. Maybe. That's if I have a daughter. Oh yeah, also, if Alba, if you exist, and you're in the future watching this, hello. Your name was planned from the very beginning. Question 8. Talk about money. Because we've got to have money. Is it important for you to provide for a family financially? Yes, even if it's just a little. I might not land the best job because I want to go into acting, so it's all dependent on opportunities that are given professionally. Speaking of acting, I've got to go now, and we're back. As you can see, I've turned the lights on because actually it's now dark outside, so yeah, that's a thing. So let's carry on with the questions, shall we? Okay. So, where did I get up to? Oh yes, because I'm going to go into acting, or hope to. If I don't manage to get any roles or anything like that, or anything that pays too well, because jobs are scarce, then I will probably do then I'm doing the housework in the house or whatever. If I end up marrying and having a partner, then I hope to be able to do that. And in my spare time, I would keep on writing my books, because I've been doing that for quite a while now. I've been writing these books, and I haven't published any yet, but all the time I'm always writing. It's like going on my phone for me. That's basically what I do as my millennial distraction. So, oh, that reminds me, Lauren, that's a topic that I actually posted on one of your videos about, and I said I was going to make a tutorial or something to do with how to be an author. I have not forgotten. I will get onto that eventually. Anyhow, so that's what I'll do, and I'll publish those books, earn a little bit of money on the side, and that way I can contribute financially and support, you know, the kids and the house just on the side as well. I think that's fair enough. Oh, and also I want to get into, I still want to do YouTube videos, so I'll just do that as well, and hopefully I'll be able to get paid for doing what I currently do. Here's to hoping. Question 9. Do you prefer to pay for things like dates? I've never actually been on a proper date before, so I would say be the typical person who'd say, you know, split the check 50-50, or take turns paying, so one person pay once, the next person pay the next time. Question 10. Are you comfortable when others pay for you and offer to pay? Well, as a general consensus, instead, unless it was a situation like I paid last time or something like that, then I wouldn't if someone were just paying the whole thing. I feel like I would then really owe them, which is one of the things that I know most people experience. A really, really bad story of mine is that one time when I was going to the cinema with some friends, and I thought that I brought enough money to pay for maybe the tickets or some popcorn for everyone, except for one guy who eats all the popcorn he can get, but that's beside the point. I thought I had it covered. However, it's only when I discovered that, because I'd just come on the plane to get there beforehand, I forgot to switch out the pounds for euros. So I actually couldn't pay for anything. And this one guy who, Jorge, if you're watching this, I am so sorry still. I mean, I don't know if I tried to live that down like next time we went, but this time, the guy, he had to pay for the tickets, and at some point, I mean, the other guy, who wasn't him, he paid for popcorn. But I felt really bad because I had agreed that I was going to do something, I was going to make a contribution, and I wasn't able to do that, so I was just destroyed. And on top of that, I was the one who was choosing the film, so it was a film that the guy who was paying didn't even vote to see. Yeah, I think the film was The Boss Baby, actually. Anyway, the next time I covered it, I paid for popcorn, paid my own ticket, then I was perfectly fine. So I think I kind of, on a financial basis, I think I'm even with him now, but on a spiritual basis, I kind of haven't forgiven myself yet. So yeah, it does feel very bad when someone pays for you and has to. So in that situation, I wouldn't feel comfortable. But if it's something like you're splitting it and you've actually agreed that's what you're going to do, then that'd be perfectly fine. Again, I've never been on a date before, so well, no. Anyhow, that is the end of the gender tag. I'm going to do the same thing that Lauren said. If you would like to leave your own suggestions in the comments or do what I did and do a video doing this tag, then please go ahead and do so. I'd be interested to see what response people come up with. Especially those people who I know who are YouTubers, like, you know, Leon Tarkshina, Beanie Boy, Phoenix Diamondite, Cybo, George13. If you haven't seen this video, I'll post it to you. Who knows? Might be a fun idea to just spread the word. But anyway, for those people who aren't YouTubers, do leave your thoughts in the comments. And hopefully I'll get on to doing that, that author's tutorial thing. Because I'm thinking of actually making it a song. So, here's to hoping there. And on that note, until next time, farewell.